this next segment is somewhat related to the last, right? It is Noah Hugbox, okay? Now, Hugbox, it just might be awful, okay? If you know, Hugbox was the fella. He was the little trickster who accused Carson last year of being a pedophile, okay? And honestly, I don't know how much I really blame him for that situation initially, right? But he's just a pure grade A piece of shit, all right? As exemplified by this fucking twit longer, okay? The fucking ads. I'm going to try and explain the relevant events of the last couple of years in the most concise way possible. This way, this was always written off as drama when I tried to talk about it, but I only spoke of it because it really bothered me and I cared. It was not easy to be threatened with legal action when you're just trying to tell people what's going on down. That's why my tweets are always so cryptic. It's probably your tweets are cryptic because you're cringe. Let's establish that. All right. I'm not a clout tracer. I haven't made any money over the last 7 years. Only alienated my audience, so I started talking about this stuff. At this point, I want absolutely nothing to do with the internet, based, because you're retarded. I promise this context ties in with what's going on right now. How long? I forgot how long this was, dude. Fuck. We'll start with the Carson thing. I found out what he did in March 2020 for a moment considered tweeting it right then and there. Unfortunately, I did not have any concrete details initially. In fact, the few details I had were lies, and the group had a meeting later that day, which our manager Ryan told us that we had to dealt with this several times before and we can make it go away. And some members of the group insisted that we needed to stick by Carson at this point. I checked out completely, but Navy was shocked. So many people seemed to value their careers over doing the right thing. I mean, I guess that's fair. He's kind of shocked that, like, hey, you know, Carson has basically come out to us as a fucking pedophile. Why aren't we saying anything, right? I mean, I guess that's a fair enough. Over the next several months, I started asking around as to what others have been told and found every single person was told an extremely different story as to how many girls who was contact with and what their ages were. This pushed me to do something, and I had initially gotten the entire group to agree to recording a video, each of us simply saying what we were told and uploading it directly to the Lunch Club channel. No baseless accusations, no clout chasing, just the truth. This would have been a very base video to come out, but unfortunately, everyone else was pussies. At the last moment, many of them pulled out of the video, and Slot's words had too much to lose. Deja vu, it was never supposed to go through Keemstar. I mean, yeah, dude, that would have been the most based option, but I mean, I guess these guys are pussies, so they pulled out, you know? People who knew this to be the case, they were, and then holy shit, dude. Wait, did I see? I guess not. People knew this to be the case. They were then took to Twitter to flame me for going to Keemstar when it was actually Keem who messaged me first after somebody tipped him off. I wasn't about to back down because so many people were being selfish cowards. Thankfully, a close friend had my back and came with me. Drama alert was the absolute last resort because, again, this stuff is not drama to me. Carson had a whole Discord of content creators that aided him in strategic damage control and led up to the drama alert because naturally Ryan had gone behind his back, warned him, and tried to prep him. I mean, I don't know. I know this because all of them stuck and they told me what's up. Then the creators that Discord fled like rats from a sinking ship when it was clear the situation was not salvageable. I called Carson several times in the days leading up to the drama alert because I did not want the venue to discredit the story. I wanted him to take responsibility for his actions like a fucking adult. To this day, he hasn't even admitted what he did. He thinks, and everyone still thinks it was a 2-year age gap. That's not true. Okay, this is where this document gets really fucking shitty, all right? Because it says it was not a 2-year age gap. But luckily, our boy Timmy here did the research, all right? And he actually proved that it was a 2-year age gap, okay? So he says, you're 17 here. This was in 2019. Carson's birthday is 1999. Simple math. It's fucking, he's 19, all right? That's all I gotta say, all right? He's 19 in the screenshot. Or I guess, I don't know, you'd have to do the math with the months. I'm not going to do the math with the months. But, like, he's, like, 2019, like, you know, whatever. Like, around that age, right? So, it was, in fact, a 2-year age gap, which is weird of him to accuse it of not being a 2-year age gap. And, yeah. And then, I mean, I guess it is sort of like Keemstar says is a lot. It is Carson's own fault they got canceled, right? Because if he would have just come out and clarified the ages to any of his friends, then this wouldn't have went public, right? Because nobody would have fucking cared about 17 and 19, right? He would have just been seen as a bit of a weirdo, right? Like, nobody really cares, is all I'm going to say. I told him private, Ryan said, and I know this is going to sound like a joke, Noah is like the Joker. He just wants to see my whole operation burn. I didn't see how exposing a weirdo would bring down his whole operation, but that started to make sense later. Ryan pushed me to, by the way, this Ryan guy is a fucking scumbag. I don't know why he doesn't release his full fucking name. This guy is awful. Ryan pushed me to make commentary style video on Carson, for which I had no interest because I didn't believe profiting off something like this. Then in March of last year, they called me in and said verbatim, "You can tell I know about this. The problem for you is you've always been money. How much do you need to stop talking about this?" So this is just fucking awful, dude. Whoever said this, Noah should fucking like share their public name, bro. Like, because this is just fucking terrible. And I'm glad their organization burned to the ground if they had management like this. I'm just gonna say that. That made me sick to my stomach, seeing as I had knowingly lit any potential for an online career on fire, because to me, not being party to bullshit like that is worth a hell of a lot more than being a fucking e-celeb. The very idea I'd take an actual real-life bribe to stay quiet about everything made me wonder how common that is in the industry if this was presented to me, a bystander, that I can't even imagine what the actual victims were told. I mean, that's a very fair point. That was a mythical W, I guess. Actually, I guess it's rare. It's not to the mythical level yet, all right? I'll just... He also brought up stuff to me that when I first met him, I told him the whole reason I had even participated in the lunch club because my dad had cancer, wanted him to retire. I almost everything. He just talks about his dad. I don't care. Thankfully, my dad's fine now. He was fine by the time Ryan said that to me. So basically, he's like trying to use his dad with cancer against him. Really, this Ryan guy is a piece of shit. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, I hope he fails in all future ventures. I told him to shove it. I later brought up how discriminatory it was. He said all he had to say was that he had switched up his meds. Sure, buddy. Lol. The mental health shield is used by these people a lot. It probably came out of left field for a lot of people when I started going after the whole dream stand thing, but I did that because dude, the dream stand, I don't even remember what I remember he said something about dream stands. I don't fucking remember what though. And who cares, honestly? Management had expressed repeatedly they had made this go away multiple times before. The whole crew, the management, really freaks me the fuck out, especially when the young audience is involved. It didn't feel right to let a bunch of impressionable kids but Pied Pipered again. What the? I don't even know what the fuck that means. What the fuck did you mean by that, dude? Jesus Christ. Anyhow, this brings me to Mizkif. In July last year, Connery's parents and I ended up having a conversation wherein he told me I need to stop talking about Carson / Ryan or things would end poorly for me. I took that as a threat because why the fuck else would someone say that? Also, it wasn't the first time I had been spoken to like that. What the fuck? I don't know why, dude. I know a lot of people like Connery's pants, but like, what the fuck, dude? Why the fuck would he say that? That's fucking awful. What the hell? What the hell? I hazarded an educated guess that OTK was probably going to get involved with Carson somewhere near future, and lo and behold, later Carson made his return stream on Mizkif's stream. Interesting detail here. Shortly after this, holy shit, I'm dying, bro. Shortly after this, Carson, in an effort to redeem himself and without taking any responsibility for what he did, announced he would be doing a year of charity. Was the first recipients of his charity. Alavius, a charity belonging to Mizkif's girlfriend, Maya. And it's not like she's giving money to people in need. She's playing with fucking birds. A bit of a conflict of interest to me. I mean, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care where he gives his money, right? Like, objectively, his year of charity is a good thing. Like, I don't know why you're fucking, oh, this is bad somehow. Like, shut up, bro. Shut up. Just be quiet. Stop talking. I talked about that in an interview with another streamer with about 900 viewers. Later that evening, Mizkif reached to me describing this bizarre series of coincidences in front of about 300K people, saying this guy's a nobody, he doesn't know what he's talking about, etc., without refuting a single thing I said. Liar. You cannot convince me that bringing up Carson on, despite knowing what he did, normalizing his comeback, and then taking a monetary kickback from his anyway legitimate or just a coincidence, would have been very easy. Hell, if it would made, oh my god, dude, I can't fucking read. I'm getting so tired, guys. Holy shit. Oh, hell, it made much more sense to just not have him on. Funnily enough, Mizkif deleted the video of him and Carson right after gaslighting the fuck out of me about it. I was aware of some of the slick stuff months ago, the harassment, not the actual assault. So basically what he was doing in the DMs. It seems like that was a bit of an open secret for a while, that he was a fucking freak. And none of it surprised me. I don't know how it was possible that I knew while living halfway across the country and having never met these people, and yet people in that house claim they didn't know. I mean, that's a very good point. Pied Piper was a character from German tales that used magic flute to lure rats to a river to drown. Damn. I don't blame you for getting tired, man. This crap, it is draining, dude. It's fucking terrible. Thank you, though. Holy fuck. So he was aware of some of the slick stuff months ago, but he basically was in that. Yeah, he was aware of the slick stuff, but just like him fucking being a creepo in the DMs, right? And like he brings up the point, right? Like how is it that he knows halfway across the country, but people in his fucking house don't know, right? Like surely if people have told fucking I keep saying Hungrybox or something. Surely people have told Hugbox, they've definitely fucking told people in the house. I'm just gonna say that. And none of it surprised me. I don't know how it was possible. They knew while living yeah. Now that everybody's finally talking about it in a moment, I probably seem a lot less nuts. No, you still seem as nuts because you're fucking saying straight up lies that Carson there wasn't a 2-year age gap. But, you know, go off, King, go off. People who weren't in the know figured now is as good as time to get it all off my chest. I've been carrying this weight, all of this information, a couple of years now, and it made me into a really unhappy person for a while. Again, I doubt I'm getting anywhere close. I've gotten the worst of it. This shit has to change. I say so many personal anecdotes here because they all illustrate how common covering for people like this is. I want to make something clear. When these streamers act like these accusations came from completely out of left field, a lot of them are lying. I mean, probably true. You can see how they hold on to stuff such as blackmail, not out of care of the victims. I've been harping on this for a year now. Everybody talks and almost everybody knows well in advance. They always feign ignorance. Pokimane, Hassan. Lol. And they'll dogpile you in an instant if you go against the narrative that makes things easy for them. Don't ever trust an e-celeb. That applies to me too. I mean, true. Don't trust me, guys. Actually, do trust me. I'm not an e-celeb, so that's a dub. Don't expect me to comment any of that after this post. I'm not here to argue on anything to do with these people ever again. Good, because you're awful. Lol. I don't mean for this to come off as narcissistic, to take people down or elevate myself over others. Either I want people to understand how cutthroat these people are. I want people to get a clear picture of what you're getting into if you pursue this sort of thing. I haven't signed any NDAs, so hopefully nobody decides what to sue me over. Hell, the only contract I've signed the entire time is get a figurine of me climbing out of a jar of semen. I hope you see the symbolism in that. Good one. Good one, dude. Got a real jokester. If you're going to do this stuff, don't ever put yourself in the position of relying on anybody but yourself. That's harder to do than you think. What I've described is, I'm sure, trivial in comparison to what happens in the real victims of this shit. Unless the culture changes, rats like these fuckers are going to keep getting away with it. All I have to say. So basically, everything you said about Carson, fucking awful. I hope this guy is fucking terrible. He's still going after Carson, even though it's only a 2-year age gap. What the fuck is wrong with you? But I mean, I guess, full charitability, what he said about everyone else was kind of okay. So, yeah.